And now you can see the Anime and Alcohol Show in all its video glory on our YouTube page at roughedge.tv. It's tiki time at Harbor Cove Cafe. Dive into the tropical paradise at the end of Spinnaker Drive in Ventura with vibrant drinks, delicious bites, award-winning fish and chips, and more. Now featuring extended hours and happy hour, Fridays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Harbor Cove Cafe, the hidden treasure at the end of Spinnaker Drive. Visit harborcovecafe.net for more information. It's Sunday morning, 8 a.m. That means it's time to drink some beer and talk some anime and other stuff. This is the Anime and Alcohol Show, live here on Rough Edge FM with your host, Devin Crow. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, he's pointing at me, and there was nothing to do.
I clicked the button, and it didn't click. So
yeah,
thanks, Mac.
Well, good morning, and welcome back. We do have a guest joining us, shortly.
Tell us about our guest. Oh, there's somebody in the chat room already.
Oh, that's a stream element.
The repeat thing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just stream elements. He's a friend of mine. He's also a Twitch. He's a Twitch VTuber. He has his own little VTuber cat model. He's like a photo alchemist. His like cat has the little like photo lens eyes and stuff. He's pretty cool. His name's CoRy. CoRy. I don't know if I know how to pronounce his.
We'll have to ask CoRy to give us his information on his Twitch channel and what have you, so we can send people over that way to check him out.
Yeah, but he's a cool guy, so he should be joining us soon. We have the program that we use. It's just StreamYard. You can send like a link, and it allows you to join. We used to put the link in the chat every so often too for randos to join in.
But we were warned against that because apparently people join in with inappropriate things and get your channel canceled.
Yeah. I mean, we're small enough to where no one's gonna notice that. But that'd be a really funny shtick, just to have like a whole waiting room of people to come in and just hover over the kick button immediately and let someone come in and chat for a minute, and hopefully they don't say.
Fun. We've had good success with it.
We had that guy from the UK.
That's right.
Yeah, we had that one guy from Europe, I think it was.
He was great,
and he was super cool. Yeah, he was like really, really cool.
We also had a guy on the Friday Shot Day show call from Europe. I think it was Germany as well. And he sat there and drank with us for half an hour.
Yeah.
So that was fun. So yeah, by the way, if you're ever interested in coming on the show via the link, just send us an email at roughedgestudios@gmail.com and we'll set something up. We'll have you on the show.
Or just comment in the comment section. And I mean, I don't really see a problem with inviting people on.
If we get caught, we get caught.
Yeah.
You know.
The worst we'll get is we'll get a warning at first.
Yes.
Like, hey, there was an inappropriate comment.
Wasn't us.
Yeah.
So, they do send you a warning first on Twitch?
I think
I understand Twitch is like the strictest.
YouTube's pretty strict.
They're getting worse too.
Yeah, YouTube's really strict, but I think at first, it has to be reported.
That would make sense.
I think it has to actually be someone actually has to report offensive, because I've said some pretty horrendous things on here by accident through my Tourette's and everything, and we've never once received a strike or a warning.
No.
I mean,
now those of you listening, that doesn't mean go give us a strike.
Yeah, a really long time ago, I would say probably 10 years ago, I actually dropped an N-bomb on the stream once.
Yeah, you felt
like
terrible about
hard R too, and we did not get a strike.
Well, I trimmed it out of the YouTube feed and I trimmed it out of the audio feed, but I can't trim Twitch. So
you can't trim the live feed. So
yeah, and you can't trim the live feed. So
yeah.
But yeah, you felt awful about that.
I did.
Terrible.
Yeah. And
you said it so quickly because of the Tourette's that I didn't even catch it.
Yeah.
Until afterwards, and you're, oh my God, did I say that?
I did, totally.
So, oh my God.
And it was a total accident. It just kind of just blurted out. So, but yeah, that was an interesting one.
Yeah. By the way, today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Crow's Pest Solutions. And whatever your pest problem might be, whether it's ants or roaches or great white sharks, just email Devin at crowspestsolutions.com. And very soon his website will be up and running. All it's going to do is lead you to the email, so you don't have to memorize it here.
Yeah.
But it'll be up there pretty soon. So we'll get that taken care of for you. Crow's Pest Solutions.
You like my shirt? I got this at the.
Yeah, that's awesome. You scored big time.
Yeah, I got this at the Salvation Army in Thousand Oaks.
Now you bought a pallet, did you?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay. What'd you buy?
I just bought
it by the pound.
Oh no, that's the Goodwill.
Oh,
that's the Goodwill bins in Oxnard.
okay.
So they have all these bins. It's basically all the stuff that like didn't sell at the Goodwill that they just put in these bins, and you buy it by the pound. So people will, it's a bunch of resellers in there, clearly.
Yeah.
And they'll just load up clothes in carts and stuff like that. And I was there it was on Mother's Day, and they'll he doesn't see the email.
Oh, I'll resend it. Maybe I sent it. Maybe I typed it wrong. Hold on a second. We're taking care of our guest here, folks. It'll just be 1 second. Is it? I don't want to give his email address on the air.
I have it here, so let me just open that.
I mean, his name popped up from Google. I can resend it.
Yeah.
It looks right?
It looks right.
Are we going to try that again, Corey? And as always, check your spam filter.
Oh, he got it.
He did. He found it. Okay.
Yep. He got it.
All right. So we'll have Corey joining us here in a second. And we're going to be talking about Devil May Cry 2.
Season 2.
Season 2?
Yeah, and, season 2 of Devil May Cry.
2. Yes.
Yeah, season 2 of Devil May Cry, I think released on Thursday, I believe. I know the show got a lot of hate, like the first season. I enjoyed the first season. I enjoyed the second season too.
So what's the hate about? Because people would like the first season enough to generate a sequel. So what's the problem with the second season?
Here's the thing. It's not whether or not someone likes the season, and you know this very well, just like that Velma show on HBO Max.
Yeah.
It wasn't about whether or not people liked it enough for a second season. It got enough buzz to get a second season enough. But okay. I know there was a lot of complaints, and it was a while ago. I can't remember what the complaints were, but I don't know. I think they did shit in there. They added memes and shit. Like this one character's so it follows Dante, and he's half human, half demon, and he has a brother named Virgil as well. And there's a meme from the video game where Dante walks in on Virgil because Virgil's kind of like an anti-hero, and Virgil is sitting down, and people have photoshopped it to be one of those vinyl chairs.
Oh, okay.
And they actually put
like a Blofeld chair from James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They in the show, someone spawns in one of those little vinyl fucking chairs. But like in the season 1, when Virgil kind of comes out, there's a song people have kind of associated with Virgil, and they actually played that song with Virgil's introduction, which is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And the Devil May Cry series in general. Oh, Corey
joining in.
Hey, hello,
Corey. Man.
Did I just hear Devil May Cry?
Yeah, we're talking about.
Thank you for asking. I am. There's a movie.
No, there's a series. There's a series on Netflix that they did for Devil May Cry.
What came first, the series or the game?
Oh, the game for sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is it the same series, voice actors?
I don't know if it's the same voice actors. I think it is, but the series kind of follows like Devil May Cry 3, I believe.
Okay.
because it has a lot of the same characters from Devil May Cry 3. And I was just telling Scott and the rest of the world here that the how Devil May Cry was the video game was very music oriented. You know, there was a lot of like hard rock music in the game, and they really translated that over into the series by playing a lot of music.
Nice.
But the series in general got a lot of hate. I enjoyed the series. I thought it was fun and wild and all over the place. So
I'm curious what music's in it.
What's mostly the reason for the hate, do you think?
just stupid people. Because it's,
no, but I mean, like, what was their complaint? Like, oh, this isn't anything like the video game. Well, clearly,
yeah, that and like, oh, this isn't canon to this, and this doesn't happen this way, and but it's like mildly canon, I believe they say, but it's kind of like a separate storyline, to it. But I thought it was fun. I thought the first season was fun. I enjoyed it. The first season's intro was actually Limp Bizkit.
Sometimes they're fun.
And then, the second season, very music heavy oriented.
Forgive the giant atomic explosion that's happening behind me. We forgot to close the blinds.
Oh, was it windy up there?
No, it's just super sunny right now behind me.
Oh yeah,
and these glasses are blue blockers.
Nice.
So that's why it's mostly for screen usage, and so that I don't get like headaches or overly fatigued.
Yeah.
But then people are also like, it's because you don't want people to mess with you, right? It's like, no, that wasn't the intention. But if that's how it works, sure.
So I'm looking at the list.
Well, thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're so glad you're here. Yes. So the soundtrack.
What's everyone up to besides watching some Devil May Cry? Do you have any that you would recommend to someone who's mostly couch-bound these days?
Oh, there's so much to recommend for mostly couch-bound people.
Sakamoto
Days on Netflix. Fantastic anime.
So much fun. It's the only one I really followed religiously.
Okay. How many seasons is it?
Just one, but the second season's coming up soon, right?
Well, I guess technically
it was one of those divided seasons.
They did like 2 divided seasons. I believe it's considered season 2, but it was like part 1 of season 1 and then part 2. So I think there's 24 episodes in total of it right now. But they have confirmed that there is a second season coming out.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any date on that. Late 2026 or early 2027. So it's a ways to go still.
So it's either going to be fall or winter.
Yeah.
My first take into my first dive really into anime was and I don't watch too much of it, but a lot of the games I play fall under that kind of category.
Yes.
It was in college, and it was Blitzkrieg. No,
Jesus.
I think is that what it's called?
I think that's an anime.
Starts with a B. Sometimes in medieval ages. But it's like 15 or 20 seasons. Started out from a manga. But yeah, that was my first like dive into it, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then I fell in love with like Cowboy BeBop. And I think my favorite anime still to this day is Paranoia Agent.
Oh man, Paranoia Agent. That's a classic. Cowboy BeBop is an absolute masterpiece. The creator of Cowboy BeBop, he had another manga out, and they made it into an anime, and that one's on HBO Max, and Lazarus is the name. And it's very Cowboy Bebop. I think it's actually canon to the Cowboy Bebop universe.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, that's definitely a great watch. It's funny. Do you know the Twitch channel? I think it's called Legend of Adventress. They
No.
they do D&D sessions, and I was watching them yesterday, and they were doing I can't remember, but it was like a space themed D&D campaign, and um I was joking because they have like really well done and animated intros to it. And one
Mhm.
of the characters, I was like, man, that guy kind of looks like an elf version of Spike from Cowboy Bebop. And then they show the names, and that character's name is Pike. And I was like, oh, well, that's because it is an elf version of Spike from Cowboy
Right.
Bebop.
Right.
And then his partner is this like cyborg like character named Rhett. And I was like, oh, that's clearly just Jet from Cowboy Bebop. So
That's great.
Yeah, I think
Hey,
Cowboy Bebop is a turning point for a lot of people. A lot of people, people who try to get them to watch anime, and they hem and they haw, but then they see Cowboy Bebop, and it's like, oh, now I get it.
That's one of the like animes I tell people, like, I want to get into anime. What should I watch? And I'm like, Cowboy Bebop is literally on the top list of things to watch. I actually saw they were doing this tour called Cowboy Bebop Live, and they had a live band on the stage and this massive screen where they would play like
wow.
key elements of Cowboy Bebop and then play the music from that scene. And they did the whole season, the whole series of Cowboy Bebop, and then had a live band playing the music of Cowboy Bebop. And then they had the voice actress for Faye Valentine, and she did some singing numbers during the intermission and stuff. And that was really cool. That was a really, really fun experience.
Where was that?
It was actually here. It was in Ventura. It was at the Ventura Theater. Yeah, that's what.
Tour,
really?
Though, right?
It was a whole tour. Yeah, they did a whole thing at the Ventura Theater. This was, I think, a couple years ago or last year.
I remember when you went.
Yeah, it was super fun. It was a ton of fun, and the live music blaring, and with the everything in the background, the show playing in the background. It was just a lot of fun.
Well, that's another show also that thrived off its original soundtrack too.
Yes, that whole series is its original soundtrack. It's just an masterpiece of an anime and music.
I think it still would be good
without the music, but that was such a big part of it for me. In fact, I have the soundtrack. That was I think it was after episode 4. I was just like, I gotta get the soundtrack, and then I didn't listen to it, just because sometimes spoilers, even you can have that in music, like if it's the type of if the song is a little more melancholy, and it's like, oh, so this might be a sad moment in the show. So I didn't wait till I didn't listen to it until I was done watching it, and but yeah, that was one that I absolutely fell in love with.
Yes, there's definitely some melancholy songs throughout the soundtrack that would definitely give away part of the anime.
Yeah.
Old World, I think it's called Old World Blues, is like the big melancholy song.
Yeah. And I'm a former jazz trumpet player too, so
nice.
I connected on that deeper level as well.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel as well, so you can get out to some of the people.
Yeah. So I go by CoRy Wysz. That is not my full last name. It's Wyszynski, but it's too difficult for people to spell. I even have like my best friends who still don't spell it right to this day, and they've known me for like 20 years. So it's not. I don't call it a stage name. It's just so it makes it easier for people. But I am a disability advocate. I have a dynamic disability through multiple complex illnesses, including MECFS. I mentioned that one because that's the organization that I help volunteer for their social media, known as ME Action. And ME is it's a neurological multi-organ system failure that happens, and it can happen. A lot of people are getting it most recently from COVID. For me, it was a virus when I was 8 or 9 years old. It was just I had mono, and mono led to something known as Epstein-Barr, and then I've been sick ever since. But it's a spectrum disease, and it's always changing. So one day you could be where it's like you can't move from your bed, and you're the most fatigued you've ever been in your life. And then the next day it's like, oh, I can stream, and that's what I do. I have the time for it. It's just if I have the energy for it. So my channel, I operate under a PNG digital cat. I guess more cartoon like. Actually, it could possibly, I could see it as an anime character for sure. Especially in like one of the weirder ones like Gantz. And but in my channel, I am playing, streaming. I was streaming back during the pandemic, and I was part of a theater, an underground digital theater, because I was with this organization called Impro, and Impro did narrative improvisation. So full-length plays. Sometimes they were funny, sometimes they were sad, upsetting, disturbing, but you're watching this and you're like, this is a play. And we would do 45-minute shows, and it's not what's going to be the joke that I jump to next. It's what's going to advance the story. I am a storyteller. I'm a former, I say former because it's very difficult to do with my illness. But I have published a sci-fi novel. It's called U-Turn and Next Synapse. Took 10 years to write. So if someone's watching this and they're thinking, man, yeah, I've been working on a novel for 5 years, but there's no way it's going to happen. It can. And 10 years is actually like low average for a lot of first-time writers, because of either like it's hard to find an agent or whatever path you take. I was able to, through a Nerdist writers competition, start working this novel. Then I found this, I guess the best way to describe it would be almost like a Kickstarter or an Indiegogo for writers, called Inkshares. And Inkshares is still around. And I got into the top 20 out of, I think it was like 400 submissions. And the top 3 were going to be like, get the Nerdist logo on the book, published, book toured around with the Nerdist crew. And I didn't get that, but they were really only looking at the top 10. And then I think they said it was either an email that I wrote to them, because I was just thanking them and telling them like my backstory and how amazing it was. And it was because of that they decided to start talking to numbers 11 through 20. And then they interviewed me, and they did a smaller publishing within their bigger publishing called Quill. And with Quill, my book was able to get published. So that was a really exciting thing. I am working on a second book dealing more with my illness. I'm also going to bring that kind of genre bending narrative flow that I learned from working at the improv studio, where each chapter will be its own genre. But it's all the medical horror stories that I've lived through. Because at 26, I found that I had nocturnal epilepsy, and I had seizures to the point that were so bad. And speaking of music, is the acupuncturist, he plays the music, he leaves, and in my I guess state that I was in, the music starts skipping, and I'm like, oh, this is so weird. And then there was like what felt like an earthquake. And I woke up in this man's arms, and he caught me from falling off the table. and he said he wouldn't have come in if it wasn't for the music skipping. So I don't know if you're religious or what you believe in, but there are stranger things in this world that we can't explain with just science that happen. And I believe that there's something else out there, whether it's metaphysical or on a cerebral level. Maybe it's just experiences that we've had with people where it's like, I feel like I've known you all my life. That might be like something atomically, like who knows? But because of that music skipping, it saved my life. Because could you imagine falling off an acupuncturist table with all those needles in you?
No.
I don't know if you could survive, but I mean, like, they were all over my face, and because we didn't know where these weird sleep disturbances was happening. But the most that I didn't sleep was 8 days in a row.
Yikes.
Which I don't recommend. But days 3 and 4, just like a creative swirl, almost like a Sunday. Think of your favorite food, whatever it is, and you're just coasting on it. And it's so great, and it's amazing to watch things on it because you're pretty much like drugged out. Your mind's not working. But then days 7 and 8, you need a wheelchair because your body can't function. So yeah, and my channel, the whole reason to relaunch the channel, for a bit of a longer answer, was to kind of put more meaning back into my life. And what I did is I bought a quest calendar, and every day I was just doing a little quest, and I do it through the PNG cat because it's just a lot easier than being on camera some days. I don't have to worry about lighting, for instance. But on my channel, like most of the assets, my friend drew the cat, but I draw or create everything else. So all those backgrounds, overlays, whatever it may be, was either by me from scratch or a template that I take in my own direction. And yeah, I love it. And it's nice to have like not a reason to get up, but something to look forward to, let's say. The most recent game that I'm playing, I just beat the new Resident Evil, which I absolutely loved to death, pun intended. And it was just so cool to play a game that, like, I started the first Resident Evil like 30 years, the second Resident. Alexa, power down. That's a medication alarm. Don't worry, I'm good. I already took it. But to play a game that was like 30 years old. Okay, hold on. Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
Running the world and everything. But it was just, I don't know, Devin or Scott, if you've experienced this, but I think that's the longest game series that I played, from playing it now to when I was first a kid. And I haven't played all of them. But for me, it's also a challenge because I have an overactive imagination, and I'm like scared ghost white with some of these things.
I watched you play some of them. It was pretty funny. I tried to watch every stream when you pop up on my notifications. I have notifications set for when you go live.
Thank you.
And it's always really funny, like the jump scare moments. And it's, I mean, that's what makes streaming entertaining, like there's those jump scare moments and the screams and the oh my gods and stuff like that. So but yeah, I've been watching you. I watched you play Resident Evil. I didn't watch all of it. I missed like the finale portion of it, but I was watching you play through pretty much the mansion pretty much through Grace. And then I think recently you've been doing some sponsored streams for
Arc Knights. Yeah.
Arc Knights Enfield, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the last game that I was playing. Brain fog is definitely a real thing. And because I'm living this day to day where I don't know what I'm able to do or not do, it's tough because I think to be a successful streamer, it's all about consistency. I mean,
Consistency
like,
is
how long have
definitely
you guys
key.
been doing your show?
Oh man, we've been doing this show
It's
for
the 10th season, so about 9 years actually.
yeah.
Yeah. See, so again, consistency. Like, it's hard to be able to do your show, and then if it's like, okay, your next, if your next podcast was 6 months from now, would you really have people that paid attention to the show, watch the show? Not
You're right.
necessarily. I mean, you might, but people might also forget, like, oh, I forgot that you guys existed.
Exactly.
And so that's been the hardest thing. But if I overdo it in just the simplest terms, doing your taxes or a shower, that could knock me out for 3 or 4 days.
That's tough.
Luckily, I don't have to do taxes anymore, so I don't have to worry about that.
There's that. Yeah, that's the one thing I always ask when I always tell people when they ask me about keeping podcasts going is that consistency is key. You've got to be there every week, and if you're not there for a week, you got to tell people why. And
right, exactly.
Then they'll follow you for that. You know, oh, they're off this week because they're on vacation, or out this week because they're sick. But they know you're going to be back the next week, and they keep subscribed and they keep watching and listening.
Which is a little bit of a tease too, because like if you say I'm going to be at this video game conference convention, so I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. People then want to hear about, well, how was the convention, Scott?
That's right. That's right. And we've done live convention reports before.
We've done live convention reports. We've done pre-recorded stuff. I get press badges to a lot of the conventions out here. Still
Very
never
cool.
like San Diego Comic-Con. The 2 conventions that has never given me press badges was Anime Expo, bunch of pretentious pricks. And San Diego Comic-Con. And San Diego Comic-Con, I could probably get press badges if I like really tried for it, but like
right,
press badges for San Diego Comic-Con is annoying because it's similar to their regular tickets, to where you have to it's a lottery based thing, so you have to like apply, and it's a lottery thing, and then you get picked and so on and so forth. So I've just never bothered about it. And not only that, San Diego Comic-Con is just a cesspool of just everything, and I'd prefer not to go to San Diego Comic-Con. One of my favorite cons to go to is actually LA Comic-Con, which was also Stan Lee's Comic-Con at one point. That's where I got to interview Stan Lee once. That was pretty fun.
Oh, wow. Did you really?
Yeah, I did. He was a really nice guy.
Oh.
It was funny because we were driving to the convention, and I get like, I think Scott texted me or called me, and he goes, "Hey, do you want to interview Stan Lee?" And I was like, "What kind of fucking stupid question?"
Why would you even ask me?
And he was like, "I just got an email from our coordinator asking if we wanted to interview Stan Lee." And I was like, yes, I do. So they like set up a time to go in and interview him. It was pretty fun.
Oh, that's awesome. That was my I remember because I was really into trading cards when I was younger, and it was Marvel trading cards, and we went to Collector's Paradise.
Yep.
I think it was in the Valley. And I'm looking at all the stuff under glass, and this guy's showing me like all the different cards, because it was overwhelming back then. I can just imagine what it is now with all the different TCGs that are out there. But I was just starting to get into Magic, and there was these Marvel decks, and the guy pulls out, he's like, if you're really lucky, he pulls out this hologram card, and classic green hologram, and it was Spider-Man versus Venom, and he's like, this is the big one that's in all the decks. We buy 3 decks. I open up my first one in the car, and no, I open up the first one at the counter, and the guy's like, yeah, so if you want to, hopefully we'll see you again. It's like, oh yeah, I think we'll be back. And it was my first time in a comic book store, so it was like very This was before I was sick. Just almost like too much noise, eye candy and noise candy, because there was different shows happening, and I think they had a card game that was set up over in the back. And in the truck, I open up my deck, and the first card is the Spider-Man Venom.
Wow.
Hologram. So that's my second deck. We take a U-turn, because I tell my dad, I'm like, I just got this. He U-turns the truck. We drive back. I'm like, what are we doing? He's like, we got to tell him that we just got the card. And that like this is a big deal for people to sell people. Like, it's like getting a lottery ticket. Like I got that card at this store.
Right.
And we come in. The guy gave me 3 packs, like, on the house.
Wow.
He's like, that's amazing. Here's 3. That's so cool. No one's ever gotten anything close to this. Can I get a photo with you? And so he got a photo, and my dad and the guy, and it was amazing. And I'm sure that was like his highlight moment of that day.
You know it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, we had some Devin had bought some Pokemon boxes.
Booster boxes.
Booster
Boxes. I used to open Pokemon. I used to open Pokemon cards on the stream while we would just randomly talk about stuff, and I pulled a case hit, like Giratina card. This was a while ago. I ended up grading it and getting a 10, and then I ended up selling it to help start the business. But yeah.
May I ask what it went for?
What's that?
May I ask what it went for? What'd you sell it for?
I think I sold it for $800.
Not bad.
It's like tripled in value since I sold it, but that's just the card market. So,
and we had how many of those boxes did we have? 3 or 4?
Oh, we opened up so many boxes.
Yeah, and most of them were kind of, I don't want to say duds, because there was something
most
there, but
most were duds. Most were duds.
But there was that one that was, because it wasn't only that card in that was valuable. There was other stuff in that same box.
Yeah, in that same box, we got some okay stuff, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, that was probably the biggest hit I've opened on stream, was that one. So that was pretty fun.
That was fun. Kind of miss those days when we would open those boxes.
The Pokemon card market is just too crazy right now, and it's just off-putting, because like I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was a child, and it's just like it's just too crazy, and there's too much money in it.
Another franchise that turned 30 years old.
Yeah. Yep, they're doing 30th anniversary stuff. So we're gonna take a quick little commercial thing on here for our beer of the week. I brought something special that my son gave me to drink.
All right, we'll be back in 45 seconds.
All right.
And now it's time for the 9 a.m. Sunday morning beer of the week here on the Anime Something or Other show live on Rough Edge FM. Brought to you by Pele Utu, Reno's only traditional tiki bar. A kaleidoscope of colors and tropical charm with the undeniable allure of paradise and intoxicatingly delicious cocktails. Pele Utu. Open Wednesday through Sunday from 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. 1275 Stardust Street in Reno, Nevada. For more information, please visit peleutu.com. Just our mics are cut off. Hello, we're back. It is time for the beer of the week.
So I got this. My son gave me this. It is Honest forefather of craft, Honest Abe. This is Cactus Cooler Mead. This is it right here.
Very colorful.
Very colorful. It is also very strong. It is an 8.4 ABV.
How's it smell?
Kind of like Cactus Cooler and shitty liquor.
Oh, that fits the show perfectly.
My son says it's very good. So,
what kind of beers does your son like?
Cheap beer.
Whatever you get the most of for the least coin.
Exactly. Let's see. Let's give this a taste.
It's not bad.
For a mead, it's not bad. I've had some really, really bad mead.
It's important to say it's a mead. I forgot that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a mead, but it's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, his new flavor of the month right now is the limited edition Busch Light apple, which I brought to what movie was that we just saw? Mortal Kombat. We just saw Mortal Kombat 2 last week on, what was that, Tuesday? Monday?
Yeah.
No, Monday.
It was Monday.
And I snuck one of those into the theater.
Made the movie better.
Now, Cory actually used to work at Ladyface.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yeah. And I was a lightweight, so I was never one of those people that was doing a shift beer afterwards. But I would do whatever shift mocktail or shift tea, whatever shift drink that I could. But I did get to try mead before I had to stop drinking due to meds. We did a classic prickly pear mead. It was for a brewmaster's dinner. I don't know if you ever saw those, Devin, but we did like a full 4-course, 5-course meal, each one paired with a specialty ale that we made just for that night. But what was really cool was after the brewmasters had that beer, that new one went on tap. So it wasn't just like, if you only bought the dinner, you can only have the beer. But it was the dinner patrons that got it first, and they got it paired with this amazing just selection. Some of the best food I've ever had. But it was paired with an oyster on top, the mead.
Really?
Which was a really nice combo. Yeah.
Yeah. I never heard of that before. That's interesting.
Yep. On a champagne flute. Yeah. Fancy.
Oh, yes, of course. Pinky up.
Yep. Thought he would have passed on the oyster.
I can't. Here's my problem with oysters. I don't understand the concept, because you don't chew them. You don't really taste them. You just swallow them.
You could chew them.
You could, but that's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was in New Orleans many years ago for a convention, I had 8 of them, but this girl was filtering them to me, so I was taking them. But I just don't understand the concept. I mean, do you actually like oysters, Cory?
I do. Certain kinds, like naked cowboys, are really good. Anything from like the Washington area, up north, that's really excellent. And of course, you've got oyster farms on the east side of the United States. But I think if you're not there, the eastern oysters, they're better fresh from like that area.
Yeah.
But also too, like, it depends like at the type of restaurant you're going to. Like if it's a sushi restaurant that does really great job with their oysters, then yeah, I'll definitely partake. But it's not like I have to have them every time I go.
Some of the best,
but it's also about like the saltiness, the brininess.
Yeah, the briny.
And I was a kid that drank salt water. Fun fact, I now know why, because I'm deficient in salt. So it makes sense that I was always looking for salt.
Yeah.
I also love textures, and every time you got a little bit of sand graininess on an oyster, it's just I don't know. I think they're fun. They're a great party, small group dish, because then you get like 12 of them. Each person has 2. And there's always going to be someone at the group who's like an expert in oysters. And you just let them talk about what it is as you're just enjoying it. And they're like, "Oh, do you taste the sediment in this one?" Maybe sometimes, but maybe not.
Some of the best oysters I've ever had. When I used to work for the prior company, which I call the Red Diamond now, it was the first President's Club I ever went to, and that was like this big award ceremony for the top 2% performing employees in the company, and it was in California. It was actually in Rancho Palos Verdes, and they have like a big welcome dinner that is just like a giant party. It's unlimited alcohol, unlimited food, and they had all these little events that you could go, like, because it was obviously in California, so they had like little photo booths set up and little things here and there. But walking around was like personal oyster shuckers, and they would come up and see if you wanted line, and they would shuck an oyster, and then they had all these little different, like seasoning, little hot sauces and all these little different toppings you could put on the oysters. I probably ate 30 oysters. They were the best oysters. They were the best oysters I've ever had, ever. And they were really small. They were Washington oysters, so they were a little on the smaller side. But like, I would be like, what do you, what would you? And he made like these little personal little, like, it was like a cocktail, but like on an oyster, he's like, oh yeah, this is this. And I ate so many oysters. And then just recently, I think it was last year, when we kind of celebrating starting the business, and also Scotty's birthday, not your birthday, it was something.
No, I think it was my retirement.
It was retirement. It was his retirement. I took him to, there's this really fancy buffet in literally it's a hotel that's right across the street from Universal Studios. It's called Cafe Sierra, and they're known for their unlimited full lobsters and crab legs. And so I took Scotty there for his retirement, and I had a single oyster, and I was the sickest I have ever been in like the longest time. And it had to have been that oyster. I mean, it definitely couldn't have been from me eating 8 lobsters and
40 pounds of food,
crab legs. But I almost didn't make it back the drive. I got back, and it was just bathroom like the rest of the night. But hasn't quite deterred me from oysters. Buffet oysters is always a risk, but when you're going to a ultra uber luxury buffet, there's less risk there. But now I know what to look for when picking out oysters. But I do enjoy oysters. And it was definitely that President's Club welcome dinner that they had the little custom, and they would pop the shells open and scrape the bottom and then put shit on top of them. And that was a lot of fun. That was a blast.
There's got to be good oysters in Ventura. We're a coastal town. There's got to be some place that has fresh oysters that are great, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
But maybe it might be the hole in the wall in Ventura.
It probably is.
Some of those places, where was it? It was so weird. We were on Route 66. We were driving to see my mom in New Mexico, and we stopped at this place. And what was so cool about it was they had the red and chili salsas, but then they also had red and green chili mironettes. And mironette is the sauce. That's like the combo that they put on top of an oyster.
Okay.
And it was awesome. But if you were to see like, oh, we had oysters here, you would have been like, you didn't end up in the hospital? Because the other food that was there was like 3 times fried pastrami, and again, not food that you think you would pair with oysters. And on the way to New Mexico, between New Mexico and Arizona, there's this place that just happens to have the coolest oysters that I've ever had, because of also they made it their culture with the red and green chili salsas or mironettes.
That makes me wonder if maybe I'm just not eating them correctly, because I mean, I like the seasoning that they're in. I think of oysters, oyster shooters, and I like sometimes it's like a Bloody Mary, sometimes there's Worcestershire or whatever it is in there. And I like that flavor. I just don't understand what the oyster brings to it. I mean, I get the grittiness of the sand because I've had that, and that's sometimes a little disconcerting to me. But maybe I mean, how do you taste the oyster? Is it just soaking in the mix?
It's the brine. It's the brine. It's not the oyster itself. I mean, the oyster itself does have a flavor, but it's like a freshly shucked oyster has all like the juices and the brine in the salty ocean water,
Yeah.
and that's where a lot of that flavor is as well.
So, I mean, are you supposed to just shoot it like a shot of tequila, or are you supposed to savor it? I don't know. See, that's where I'm at.
Shoot it like a shot of tequila. You could savor if you want to.
Right down the gullet.
Yeah, that's my brother loves that stuff, and that's how he does it. He speaking of Ventura, he had a very bad experience with an oyster here in Ventura. Had to leave the bar quickly, as a matter of fact. But he loves it for the most part, and he's always trying to get me to try it, and I'm passing. I'm gonna go, but I'll try it again. I'll try it again.
We'll do oysters when oysters are literally one of the most dangerous foods out there as well, which I think is funny, but
because of the illness or because
they're filter feeders. So oysters are very, very productive filter feeders. And
so am I.
Yes, if the tide is wrong, they can take in a lot of that bacteria, because that's what they do, and you can consume that bacteria. So you have to be very careful of what time of year it is and when they were harvested, because if they were harvested during a red tide and no one knew, you're gonna get that illness from the red tide.
Yeah. So what do you look for? How do you know that?
I don't
is it? Oh, you said earlier that you could tell it.
The diarrhea.
That's a little late.
Yeah.
All right. Did you guys want to talk about Subnautica 2? Because we're running out of time here.
Have you seen Subnautica 2 got released on Friday?
I've seen that. I've seen some people stream it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Subnautica 2 got released. I think it sold. Scotty, can you see what
I saw? It sold 12 million copies in 2 days or something like that.
I think it was 2 million copies in 2 days. I think it was, maybe it was 12 million, but it was 1 million in the first 24 hours. But
it's digital downloads, right?
Yeah, it's all Steam.
Sold copies. Yeah.
2 million copies in less than 12 hours.
2 million copies in 12 hours on its early release. And I'm rooting for Subnautica 2 to do really well because of the Crafted and Unknown Worlds deal that happened. I don't know if you followed that as well.
No.
Unknown Worlds was Subnautica 1's developer, and they were bought out by Crafton, who I believe is the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PUBG. They bought the developer for Subnautica, and there was a bonus put into the deal that if they sold X amount of copies of Subnautica 2 when it released by a certain time, they would get a $250 million bonus. And so the Crafton CEO ended up taking the president off of the Subnautica 2 development and putting him on, because they're making a movie of Subnautica, and then they kept basically spearheading this development so they couldn't meet the deadline. And obviously a lawsuit entailed, and they tried to fire a bunch of people because they weren't developing the game right, and they wanted to release it for early access much sooner, and Crafton CEO was like, no, it's not ready to be released. And he was like, well, it's early access. That's how Subnautica made most of its money, was through early access. And so there was a lot of drama. There's even evidence of having the Crafton CEO asking ChatGPT how to not pay this contract out. It was a very, very bad legal battle, which Crafton, Unknown Worlds ended up winning, and the judge granted them extra time, because it had already expired, extra time to release the early access game to see if they can get their $250 million. So they have until, I think, August of this year to sell X amount of copies for their $250 million bonus. And a part of me wants to purchase a copy of Subnautica 2. It is co-op. If you want to do a co-op stream, Cory, and
I would be down with that. Yeah.
Subnautica 2. So I have not had a chance to play it yet. I have watched a handful of streamers play it. It is very Subnautica 1. But
I have some images here. It looks pretty cool. I mean, check out that.
That's actual gameplay imaging.
That's awesome too.
That's
and then
nice.
I guess one of the characters here.
Yeah, it's just one of the playable characters. You pick a pre-built character in the beginning of the game.
And then there's another world shot here.
Yeah.
It's cool stuff.
So,
Nice.
but yeah,
I'm all for supporting indie developers, especially
when it screws out a big one.
yeah. Well, because then it shows like it proves that it's worth. You don't have to have a big name always. I mean, look at
Yeah.
the Hollow Knight team. It was
Yeah,
what, 8
Hollow Knight.
people originally? And I
Yeah,
think now they're 32.
Have you followed the drama with IGN and this new game called Mixtape? Have you heard of it?
No.
So IGN, which has not been a very reliable game reviewing company, and I don't know how long, they gave their first 10 out of 10 on a video game that's I say with quotations that's indie, but it's this video game called Mixtape, and they gave their first 10 out of 10 on it, and it's a 3-hour long game, just 3
That's it?
hours.
Oh, okay.
And you literally do not have to do anything in the game. It is a 3-hour long interactable movie, basically. And it was, they're saying that it's an indie game, but it has millions of dollars of backing from major studios like Sony, because it has, the whole thing is it's kind of like this 90s 90s style setting.
I saw the trailer for this on
Yes.
yeah,
and it has
during the
like
Video Game Awards.
Yes, it has like major like 90s style music in it, so they have these major licensing for this video game, and people are like, well, how did this indie studio get this major music licensing in their
Not
game?
cheap, that's for sure.
Like, how did they do this? And then they dug a little bit deeper, and it's not really indie. Like they have like all this backing with Sony, and that's why they were able to use all this Sony music and so on and so forth. But it's not even a video game. It's like a 3-hour long interactable movie is what people are.
And what's this called again?
Mixtape.
This is interesting. I want to check this out.
And there's a scene, there's a mini game, a French kiss mini game where it's you see inside the mouth and you like move the tongue around. It's super gross. But people were dogging on IGN because they gave this game a 10, and it's not even a game, it's an interactable movie. And they gave Subnautica
partnered
2,
with Sony.
Yeah, they gave Subnautica 2 I think a 7.1, and the only complaint, and by the way, Subnautica 2 is early access, so it's still being developed. And I know I've explained early access, but they'll release an unfinished game early, typically at a discounted rate, and you play through it, and there's updates that happen throughout the game and so on and so forth. But they gave Subnautica 2 like a 7.1 or a 7.5 or something, a really low score for when they gave Subnautica 1 like a 9.8 or something like that. And the only complaint that they had about Subnautica 2 was that the map was small.
Jesus.
And they took that big a chunk out of it.
That big of a chunk out of it. I mean, and IGN is just a bot. They just do paid reviews now. And whoever gives them the most money, that's who gets the biggest review on it.
Which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. Unfortunately, a lot of review sites are doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but they've lost all credibility in their reviews. And the thing is, even on Steam, that Mixtape game, like it was overwhelmingly positive, but again, it's just this like, it's not a game, there's like mini games in it that like, where, the old classic Resident Evil 4 where you think it's a cutscene and it's not, you start to press A, there's moments in that game, but if you don't press the button, the game will just do the action. So there's no punishment for failure. That just like there's pallets in the way. Press A to jump. If you don't do anything, the character just automatically jumps over the pallets.
What's the point of the game then? I mean, it's not. That proves it's not a game.
Yeah, and then so there's that, and then Forza Horizon 6 just dropped. I don't know if you're familiar with the Forza games. the racing. It's,
Yep.
car racing. Well, there's Forza Motorsports, which is basically just racing on a track kind of thing. And then Forza Horizon is an open sandbox world. And typically they do different regions. So Forza Horizon 4 was, I think in Mexico, Baja,
Okay.
something like that, like Central America. And then Forza Horizon 5, and I played Forza Horizon 4, loved it, super fun. Forza Horizon 5 was in London, and that didn't really pique my interest all that much. It's, the London roads. Yeah, it's cool, Top Gear. But Forza Horizon 6 is in Japan.
Oh.
And there are some mini games in Japan, in the Forza Horizon 6, where you play as a delivery driver in a little K car, and like depending on how much you drift on delivering, like you're basically an Uber Eats driver, and you can drift to your location and stuff like that. You get more of a bonus and a tip and stuff like that when you deliver the food, and it looks
closer to real life.
It looks super fun. And with Xbox announcing that they're lowering their Game Pass.
Yeah,
they're lowering the Game Pass membership down to $23, I think $22.99 or something like that, which is a lot more reasonable than $30 a month when they upped it. I'm thinking about getting Game Pass again so I can play Forza Horizon 6, because it looks like a lot of fun. So
cool. And then when's the release date on that?
It's already out.
Oh, it's already out.
I think it's early. I think it's like early release or something like that. But there's already videos of it. But
very cool.
Yeah. So that's
great about it.
That's it for today.
Cory, give us your socials and stuff again.
Yeah, it's just CoRy WYSZ, and that's across the board. Make it easy.
Easy enough. Like it.
Yeah, and maybe in the next coming days we'll have a Subnautica 2 co-op with me and Cory playing together.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
that would be.
Let us know. We'll show that around on our stuff.
Did you hear that Stream Elements is shutting down, Cory?
No, I didn't. Are you serious?
Yeah, I heard Stream Elements is shutting down. People are like, man, I'm gonna have to redo. Stream Elements shutting down, so it's like the second one.
I don't. Why? It seems like it's be so popular nowadays.
Yeah. Oh, they're going bankrupt.
Yeah, but it looks like they're talking to potential acquirers too. So it's not dead yet, but it looks like it's getting close.
Oh no!
They're looking for a deal. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they find it and not by someone greedy.
Yeah. Well, we know how that works.
Yep.
All right. Well, Cory, thanks so much for being on today. It's been a good show.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome anytime. And, I'll just let us know when you want to come on. I'll send you a link again and we'll get you on. And anybody else out there, if you have any questions, roughheadstudios@gmail.com. And we'll see you all next week.
So we are going to raid B Valentine. It looks like she's playing Fable. So
tell me when. Got 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, it's just coming up with it right now. And alrighty, so we will talk to you guys all later. And we'll go from there.
So long, everybody. Thanks, Cory. Brought to you by The Grape, Ventura County's premier jazz venue and cocktail lounge, located at 2733 East Main Street in Ventura. For menu and music schedule, visit them online at thegrape.club. This has been a Rough Edge Studios production.